friends and net aspirants. This is Liji Maria, and in this video, we are going to learn about the famous melodrama known as the Duchess of Malfi. So, Duchess of Malfi is a famous melodrama, or other people call it as revenge tragedy by John Webster. You must have learned it already in your MA classes, or you are learning it in your MA classes. Anyway, this is going to be really helpful. Those who are learning it, those who are studying for NET JRF, English Language and Literature. Without wasting time, let me tell you first of all about my website. If you want more systematically arranged and comprehensible, simplified study materials for Paper 2 NTA NET JRF English Language and Literature, then you can visit my website www.highpoint.in. And also for free materials, just like you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can also follow me on Instagram, because there also we are sharing a lot of free materials in the form of study cards, reels, and many more. So you can follow me in Instagram. My ID is right here. Let's move on to the main content of the video. Yeah, let's have some introductory details about the Duchess of Malfi. The original title of the play is The Tragedy of the Duchess of Malfi by Webster. It was written between 1612 and 1613. So the Tragedy of the Duchess of Malfi, that is the original and full title. It was the first played private play in Blackfriars Theatre. So Blackfriars Theatre is one of the major theatres of the time of during the Jacobean as well as Elizabethan age, and this was the first played private play in Blackfriars Theatre. It is a popular revenge tragedy of the Jacobean age. About Jacobean age and all, we have already seen in the introductory section. You can refer that. And the setting of the play is Malfi, Rome, and Milan. Okay, so the play's actions are happening in between in these places, actually in Malfi, Rome, Milan. Published in 1623 as a book, it was published in 1623, and the play loosely based on events that occurred between 1508 and 1513 around Giovanna di Aragona, Duchess of Amalfi. So the plot of the play is based on actually some events happened surrounded by Giovanna di Aragona, Duchess of Amalfi, between the years 1508 and 1513. And we can also, since it is a revenge tragedy, we can see the influence of Seneca. Seneca, he was a great Roman playwright who wrote revenge tragedy, and English writers, especially the English playwrights of Elizabethan and Jacobean age, greatly influenced by Seneca, and also brought many elements of his revenge tragedy into English stage as well. And Webster's poetic language and characterization led many critics to praise the play as one of the finest revenge tragedies in the English Renaissance drama. So this is one of the famous as well as one of the finest revenge tragedies of English Renaissance for its poetic language and characterization and the plot as well. Now let's see the character list of the play. So I have just included the important characters. Okay, so at least these characters you have to remember. If you know the character, then it will be easy for you to memorize the plot in an easy manner. Okay, the first one is the title character, the Duchess, the protagonist and sister to Ferdinand and Cardinal. So the Duchess is actually a widow. She already got a son with the ex-husband, late husband, and Duchess and her brothers Ferdinand and Cardinal, they prohibited her to marry again for in order to keep the wealth that Duchess has with themselves, and don't want Duchess to by marrying another person. Duchess need to share the entire wealth to that person that they don't really want. So they prohibited her to marry, but they also always had this intuition that Duchess will anyway won't hear what they are saying. So they kept an eye on her. For that reason, Daniel di Bassola, he was appointed by Cardinal in the Duchess's court in order to spy on her. Antonia Bologna, steward of the Duchess, later marries her. So she marries a person who is hierarchically, socially down from her. Okay, they are not equal. Antonia is just a courtier in Duchess's court. There is just a steward. So they got married later secretly, and they had 3 children together. Then comes the cardinal, brother to Duchess and Ferdinand twin brother to Duchess. And being twin brother, he has some different kind of a feeling towards Duchess. That means he is the one who mainly tortures her. Then Cariola, Duchess's waiting woman, and Julia, Cardinal's mistress. Okay. Next, we will have act-wise summary. There is no need that you scene-wise you memorize everything, but at least act-wise what is happening in the story, just memorize it. First act, Act 1. In the first scene itself, major characters are introduced, like we can see in every other play of Elizabethan Jacobean plays. In the first act itself, or in the first scene itself, major characters will get introduced. The scene is in Duchess's court room where Antonio has returned from France and the Cardinal and Bazzola having a conversation in which the latter urges the Cardinal's pardon. So Bazzola is basically a criminal. So Cardinal brought Bazzola into the court of the Duchess in order to be a spy on the Duchess for Cardinal. So Bazzola, Cardinal and Bazzola, they are having a conversation in which Bazzola is urging Cardinal's pattern. See, Pezzola is a Machiavellian character who can do anything, who will do anything to have wealth, to have money, to have gold, to have to climb the social ladder. So, in order to have power and money, Basola will do anything. So, he is kind of a Machiavellian character, and he is now acting as spy for Cardinal in order to watch over the Duchess. Then Antonio is also there, who has returned from France. Then Ferdinand also joins there, while the Cardinal asks the Duchess to make Basola as a servant to look after her horses, but actually to spy on her. So it was Cardinal who brings Basola into the court, and Basola is not an educated person. He is not a wealthy person to be there in the court, or he has no importance of that much in order to be in the court of Duchess. But Cardinal asked the Duchess to make Basola as a servant of her in order to look after her horses, but he actually wanted him to spy on her. And Ferdinand also comes there. Late, when everyone left, both of the brothers urged the Duchess not to marry again, since he is a widow. She is a widow now, and threatened her of death. So this is what I already told you. So both the brothers eventually asked the Duchess not to get married again, because ultimately they don't want to share the wealth with anyone else. She is a widow and she has a son already. So if you got married, they are her brothers, but they threatened her of death. But as soon as they left, she proposes to Antonio, and in the presence of Cariola, they got married. Cariola is Duchess's waiting woman, so she is a trustworthy. So as soon as that means the brothers leave the court, she proposes. That means the Duchess proposes marriage to Antonio, and in the presence of Cariola, they got married immediately and secretly, of course. So there ends Act 1. Now begins Act 2. Basola broods over the Duchess's strange behaviors and suspects that she is pregnant. So, you can understand. See, she is wearing loose dresses. She has different kind of appetites now. So, Basola, after seeing this, even though he is spying over her, he cannot arrive at a proper conclusion that she is pregnant. But she broods. He thinks that Duchess has very strange behavior, and he suspects that maybe she is pregnant. He wanted to confirm this by giving her an apricot, as it will induce labor. So it is famously known in those days that if you eat apricot, it will induce labor pain, and labor will happen. So he wanted to confirm whether the Duchess is pregnant by giving an apricot to her. And after that, exactly that he was expecting happened, that he saw that Antonio is also worried. Antonio following her, and after giving the apricot, the Duchess was immediately carried to her chamber. Antonio was worried. So after seeing all this, he confirmed that the Duchess is pregnant, and she is now undergoing labor pain, and soon the baby will be delivered. No one else is aware about the labor going on, but Basola confirmed it. Once Antonio was alone, he was informed that he is the father of a son now. So Antonio is worried now. Antonio cannot show that explicitly, outwardly. He needs to be calm. But later, when he is alone, he was informed that he is the father of a son now. Antonio finds Basola lingers around her chamber and accidentally drops his son's horoscope, and Basola finds it and sends it to her brother. So now he is already confirmed, but he needs solid evidence. So Antonio even saw Basola lingering here and there around Duchess's chamber, and accidentally, while he was watching, on the way, when he was passing, Antonio drops his son's horoscope there, and Basola, as we expected, finds it and sends it to her brothers. Both the brothers got enraged by the news and swore to kill the person with whom she is engaged. So now they also knew that she is engaged with Antonio, and she also gave birth to a son. So brothers got enraged. They got angry after hearing this news about Duchess, and they swore to kill the person with whom she is engaged. They are not at all happy. Then Act 3. Meanwhile, Duchess and Antonio together had two more kids. So time passes here. Duchess and Antonio, they together had two more kids. Now totally they have three kids together. And Ferdinand comes to the Duchess and demanded Basola to discover the father of seemingly illegitimate children. So even though they know that Duchess is married and she got three children now, but they are not fully aware with whom she is married. So Ferdinand comes to the Duchess and demanded Bassaro to discover who is the father of these children. So Ferdinand comes and asks, he is not expressing the Duchess, he is not revealed that, you know, he knows the secret of Duchess. So Ferdinand wanted Bassaro to discover the father of seemingly illegitimate children. Ferdinand sneaks into the Duchess's chamber in the night and reveals his wrath of marrying again. So Ferdinand is twin brother to Duchess. So he is kind of a kind of difficult or kind of different kind of fascination towards the Duchess, and he's the one who tortures her the most. And he sneaks into the chamber of the Duchess in the night, and he uh, showed his wrath, his angry, his pain of Duchess marrying again. The Duchess accuses Antonio about being fault in his accounts recently and banishes him from there, actually to keep him safe from there. So Duchess, she knows that, her brothers already knew about her marrying secretly and having children, and she knows that, anyway they will reach to Antonio and they can harm him anyway. Antonio will be harmed by them if they find out Antonio. So outwardly she finds fault with the Antonio's accounts, because for the outer world Antonio is just steward to Duchess. So for that fault in his accounts, that she banishes him from there. In actually, she wants to keep him safe from her court, her brother. So uh, in the disguise of banishment, she want to keep him safe. But Basola talked good of him, so the Duchess revealed their secret marriage to him. So she doesn't know that Basola is a spy to her brothers, the cardinal. So Basola talks Antonio's good, and he acts like he's a well-wisher of the Duchess and Antonio. So what happens? Duchess, she is an innocent person. She revealed every secret to Basola. Basola thereby comes and tells this to the brothers, and Ferdinand left to find Antonio. So what happens? Basola is a spy ultimately, right? He is a criminal too. So Basola, after knowing everything from the mouth of Duchess herself, Basola immediately comes to the brothers, and actually he wants to snatch away the money that they offered, the gift that they offered for spying upon the Duchess. So immediately he comes, reveals everything that she told to her brothers, and Ferdinand left to find Antonio. Antonio already left the court of Duchess. The cardinal takes the ring of the Duchess and prepared to banish her along with her children. So cardinal comes immediately to the Duchess and took her ring, so that authorial ring of power from her, and she was prepared to banish along with her children to somewhere other place. Then Basola comes and delivers a letter to Antonio and the Duchess in which he demands the death of Antonio. So what happens, Basola, it's like, when he demands the money that they offered, the brothers offered for spying upon the Duchess, they denied it. So Basola became so angry, and he is kind of, Antonio and Duchess, they are innocent people, good people. So Basola, he wanted to turn against the brothers. So now he comes with a letter, and it got delivered to Antonio. He gives that to Antonio and the Duchess. So he gives that letter to the Duchess and Antonio in which he demands the death of Antonio. So Antonio asked by the Duchess to leave the place with the eldest son, while she and the other two kids left with the Basola to her brothers as prisoners. So what happens? They cannot escape the brothers now. So Antonio asks the Duchess, "You leave the place with the eldest son, and I'll leave with the younger two kids with Basola to her brothers as prisoners." Okay. So there ends Act 3. Now Act 4. What is happening in Act 4? Basola at times feels reluctant to carry out the plans of the brothers because Basola is not getting what he was offered by the brothers. So he was feeling reluctant in order to carry out the plans of the brothers as they wish. And also he knows that. You see, these people, the Duchess, the her steward Antonio, both are innocent. Even though they got married secretly, it is because they feared Duchess's brothers, nothing else. They have done no mistake in marrying each other. So ultimately, they are innocent people. And Ferdinand is not satisfied about the torture measures to him. He was not satisfied about the torture measures that he was carrying against the Duchess. Ferdinand showed live-like dead bodies of Antonio and her children. So soon after that, so even though Duchess left with the eldest son, she was caught by Ferdinand and people of Ferdinand, and Ferdinand was doing torture measures. She took them as real dead bodies and resolved to die. So she now, after seeing this live like dead bodies of Antonio and her children, she resolved to die because there is no one left, and she is in utmost pain after seeing this. So she cannot hold this thought of living anymore without them. And Basola was asked to find Antonio. So Antonio is nowhere found. So Basola was asked to find Antonio. The Duchess put amongst mad people, and Basola enters with executioners to strangle her. She strangles her, sorry, he strangles her and her children. So what happened next? Next torture measure from Ferdinand was that the Duchess would put amongst mad people, insane people, and it will make her mad too. And Basola enters into the chamber where the Duchess was put with executioners to strangle her and kill her. And he strangles her and her children. And Ferdinand saw the dead bodies and now began to ignore Basola when he asked for his reward. So this is what they are doing. Ferdinand saw the dead bodies of the Duchess and her children, and now he is satisfied. And when Basola asked his reward, uh, Ferdinand began to ignore Basola. So Basola reveals that to the near dead Duchess that her husband and children are not dead. See, even though the Duchess was strangled by him, Duchess was not dead yet. So Basola reveals this secret to the almost dead Duchess that her husband and children are not dead yet. They don't know where they are. And after her death, he leaves for Milan. So, but Duchess, after hearing this good news of her husband and children are alive, she dies. After her death, Basola leaves for Milan. Now comes Act 5. Antonio secretly comes to the cardinal. So Antonio, he left there to meet the brothers, right? So Antonio secretly comes to the cardinal. Ferdinand is mentally disturbed now after seeing the dead body of his sister and her children. He cannot hold his mental health, mental balance now. Julia was asked by Basola to spy upon the cardinal. Then later she was poisoned by him. So Julia was mistress to the cardinal, and she was like, maybe cardinal is doing something else with some other woman. So Julia also asked Basola to spy upon the cardinal. Later, Julia also was poisoned by the cardinal. Antonio hears the voices and echoes of his wife when he came near to her tomb. So Antonio doesn't know that she's already dead, and he is near the tomb of the Duchess. But when he comes there secretly, Antonio hears the voices and echoes of his wife when he come near to that tomb. Basola comes and stabs Antonio, taking him as the cardinal, and regret of his mistake, he leaves for the cardinal. So Basola now his intention is to kill the cardinal. But when he was coming to kill the cardinal, Antonio is there to find cardinal, right? So Basola comes there and he took Antonio as the cardinal and he kills Antonio instead of the cardinal. So he regrets his mistake. Now he knows that he killed Antonio, not cardinal. So he leaves there and he leaves in order to find the cardinal. He kills the cardinal and he also got wounded and dies there. So Basola ultimately towards the end kills cardinal too, and he is also got wounded in that struggle and also dies there. So this is what happens in a revenge tragedy where everyone will die. Everyone towards the end of the play, everyone will die and bloodshed will be there, insanity will be there, secrets will be there, and so that's how the play Duchess of Malfi ends. Now let's see some themes of the play. Hell on earth. So for Duchess and Antonio, it was hell on earth, and disguise is another thing. Then modern themes. See, marrying someone who is down from status is something very modern. It's quite unusual that Duchess marry her own steward. So it's kind of a modern theme we can find here, and Duchess in that way, since she is a widow, she normally during that time widows won't marry, but she marries. She goes against the will of her own brothers, even though they have threatened of her death. The fertile woman is another theme. The preservation of justice, class, evil, reputation, and legacy. So these are the major themes of the play. If you close read the play, you will understand these themes. And if you want to know more about Duchess of Malfi and John Webster and his other theatre productions, you can refer to my website www.highpoint.in, in which in the section of Jacobean theatre, Jacobean drama, we have given elaborate lecture audios there. So that's all about this video too. Follow me on Instagram if you want more study materials in the form of cards and reels and many other videos and quiz and mini coaching is also going on nowadays. So that's all about it. Meet you in the next video session. Until then, stay tuned to High Point. Bye bye.